the game. Let's see how that solo lane D.Va versus the Malthael truly does in Game 4.
We originally, when Malthael got implemented, started talking about last rights and a couple wild situations when it came to the heroic choices. And then, you know, we saw it. And then it seemed to kind of go out the window pretty quick. And the few attempts last rights has made here in HGC North America, it's never looked too hot.
Not so much. That one game, trying to use it for a Garrosh, but it was also used on D.Va once, and emergency shielding just stopped it from breaking down the mech. It might be that too, you know, a secondary life bar, if Malthael focuses on D.Va, makes it less, it dissuades you from wanting to focus on D.Va, which puts it more on Zugrug. So it's up to Zugrug to make sure that once he builds up his souls, his stacks, he can keep them. And there's no burst healing available to him. It's all about Malfurion and his heal over time.
What if, in human form, her HP is so low that the passive does less damage than her auto attack, so she actually trades up into the Malthael? Think about it. Focus here on the fan. First blood going over. That was real quick here for Team Freedom, and they made it look easy on top of it all. Surprised she found herself that far out, but that is going to be something that, you know, Gale Force wants to clean up here in this series.
It sets them behind slightly in their laning. More so, it's the setting behind of not having Lunara than necessarily the experience you get out of that, just because now Team Freedom have already been able to make a rotation from mid to bot and are heading back up to that. And they have a Medivh once again to keep track of where members of Gale Force are trying to slow that down.
Go through the portal there and get a lot of that control, and then the interesting lane zone up there on top for Gale Force. This is kind of cool. Cure is not going to be able to do anything when it comes to soaking the experience. This minion, or the way that the top lane is developed, is the only one that you can, not the only one of the few that you can get away with this heavy of a zone this confidently. So Team Freedom now needs to kind of accept the fact that they are, out of all the lanes of experience, only going to gain, I mean, about 80% of it, and so they need to make up for that through the bottom structures. I mean, there's just no world where this outcome changes.
Yes.
Cure is going to continue to keep getting bodied.
And it's so scary because he has to play out of his mind to make sure that he figures out where he can soak safely and where he has to give up that soak. We've got a Shrine activating soon, so it'll change up everything when it comes to laning. Greymane's moving quickly to get onto that Shrine and get it started. Team Freedom will pull ahead initially in Skeletal Defenders.
Murden is pulled away from the bottom lane. We'll see how much emphasis Gale Force Esports wants to put onto this versus soaking onto the side lanes. In a traditional double support hypercarry composition, you see front walls taken left and right, but they have not really been looking for that so far. The Medivh 4-man has been too much to handle. Stormbolt's going to be thrown out. 21 Skeletal Defenders for Team Freedom, only 10 for Gale Force Esports.
You know, another really cool thing about D.Va is she gets self-destruct as early as level 1, as soon as she builds it up for the first time.
So
and
let's do it.
There's a lot of time, right, where there's not going to be Fan being able to get a lot of damage up. And as Zugrug has shown, he can make sure that someone gets hit by that self-destruct. Good night, Lunara.
Really good synergy there. You saw him constantly waiting on the backside, trying not to show the members of Gale Force Esports that he wanted to use that mecha. Zugrug goes in with the first stun, Shadow Charge against the wall. Malfurion gets the root follow-up, and Overpower just flips it right into the big old kaboom, the deadly firecracker that Nasmus has set off for us.
So yeah, having self-destruct is going to give Team Freedom a big advantage in these earlier shrines. There's no Tormented Souls. Gale Force still waiting to get the power spike of Splintered Spirit 7. That will help a lot for Lunara, but in the time before Michael Udall has Tormented Souls, Team Freedom can hope to climb ahead significantly with the composition that they have.
Cure was able to make it out of that gank, which was very, very close to death for him. Gale Force Esports 9 need to find a way to make something happen. Camps, I don't think, are the place to go. I would like to see for Gale Force when we, again, I was talking about before that Shrine phase, the double support hyper carry compositions, what they traditionally like to do before Ariel and Uther received what is known as the support nerf patch. Until that patch kind of unfolded in the one that we're playing on now, he was just taking out the front walls, but we have not once seen that trio stick together and look to be the ones kind of forcing freedom. And I don't feel like that's up to the Medivh either. At first I thought, but now they're still not doing it, and the Medivh, it's not like he's making many plays.
Well, it seemed like part of the issue from that was how fast they lost Fan before.
Yeah.
And then they were playing catch-up to Team Freedom and laning, but it's interesting to see that they're just now getting back into it, and they'd rather keep Muradin trying to help out, maybe get a gank on Cure. Maybe they feel like they need to start getting some ganks to climb back into the game now because they got behind with the first Punisher. And then that makes Rhaegar have to hang out as one of the good wave clear heroes for them in the mid. He's going to transition up and start getting a mercenary camp in the top lane. So it's less of a possibility for Gale Force to get some early siege done with the double support Lunara.
And he's still going to go. Or did we talk about the Glimmer of Hope selection rather than going into the auto attack? So where I was talking about the auto attacks, focusing on being self-sustaining for the Hope here. Instead, Glimmer of Hope was the selection for Ariel. So collecting regen globes will reduce the next Ray of Heaven by 75%. You know, I mean, for any map where you can rely on globes, a map like Infernal Shrines is one of those that you very much can do so. It's a great talent. It just comes down to making sure you get the immediate value out of it. And if you do, I mean, it's awesome. It literally is giving you 75% of another heal.
Yeah, that's why Infernal Shrines is a great pick for Diablo because of Devil's Due and the amount of time that you can rely on the globes. A lot of focus on Nasmus here. He's stunned, but does decide to drop his self-destruct. Tainment Strike throws him back, and now it is done. Nasmus can get back into the mecha just now, but this is better for Gale Force Esports already. They've been able to force out the self-destruct. Now they can start to put in the poison damage that they are known for in this comp.
But if they put too much damage into a shielded D.Va, she might get it back up before the end of this year. Sitting at 50%, Zugrug went in. Detainment Strike pushes him back. K1 Pro goes in for a bite. He gets booped. He gets thrown around. Cap goes in for the Storm Bolt as Nasmus falling low, but he's still in his mecha suit. Medivh is going to drop the Force of Will. The Punisher is claimed here by the members of Team Freedom as they are still trying to track down Gale Force.
Yeah, Force of Will and the low shielded Nasmus is very frustrating. They almost were able to force her out of the mech, but not quite in the nick of time. Now a Punisher jump.
Oh, Cap got interrupted. I don't know if he can make it out there. Dansky's throwing out the spells. Seems like King Caffeine will survive. Akafe's got enough healing. Nasmus throws on the thrusters, able to zone them back far enough. Nothing gained here for Gale Force Esports, but Freedom find themselves a fort. They're going to get heroics. That looks like all she wrote for the first early game section here on Infernal Shrines.
Let's see what D.Va wants to get here. Is it a bunny hop to try to join in with the wombo combo potential of Apocalypse, Leyline, and now Twilight Dream?
For the sake of the argument of picking D.Va, I hope it's a bunny hop, but for the sake of logistics, I hope it's a big shot. I'm kind of torn, right?
Yeah.
See, if you pick the big shot, I'm like, any other character could have fulfilled this role. I feel like, not any other, but a lot of characters could have filled this role. But the big shot makes the most sense. It's going to also allow for a lot of great follow-up. We haven't even talked about, because we rarely talk about level 20 upgrades for D.Va, but her big shot upgrade mixed with an APOC Leyline setting things up, triple hitting is going to obliterate some of the members of Gale Force Esports.
There it is. A lot of focus into King Caffeine though, and they don't bring him down. Leyline Seal follow up here.
GG.
It comes. Apocalypse after it. But still, he lives on. Finally, the immortal Muradin is brought down.
And now we see the Tormented Souls trying to turn it around there. Mikey Dahl gets Zugrug. They're going to find Cure after the Flask. Gale Force Esports won the fight. Muradin's first to fall, but they were just had too much going on for them with the double support. They could out-sustain that of Team Freedom. And that might be something Team Freedom's got to start second-guessing. They were willing to open up that fight using those flashy heroics, but they only killed an avatared Muradin.
It took way too long to kill Muradin. Way too long. That is why we saw the 2-for-1 trade. And even bigger issue for Team Freedom now is Zugrug can't be the tanky Zugrug that he was. He used up all of his souls to come back sooner.
To spawn.
To spawn, there you go. Respawn
It's amazing
sooner.
how that happens,
Could not
right?
think of the word at all. It's just completely gone out of the old dome. But you respawn sooner, so now there's a shrine activating. He's been able to get some of his souls, but the wombo combo also isn't up for 30 more seconds, and that was all over a Khazra camp.
So what happens over Skeletal Defenders? We're about to find out. 22 seconds for the APOC. That's the biggest thing. Nasmus getting chunked out. He drops the mecha already. Not too much pressure onto him. Detainment Strike pushing it back there for Akaface. He's going to go ahead and get right back in that. Portal's thrown down. Freedom going to go in. They're going to tap and jump right back in. 5 seconds for APOC to come back online.
Leyline's already ready to kick off that wombo combo. They may be able to force Gale Force Esports into the choke as they would leave this shrine back toward their base. But Nasmus really wants to try to get his self-destruct up too before he gets to that point. Leyline Seal's been used. Here it comes. Twilight.
How many do they get? Ariel's first to drop, and one of the more important ones to get killed into this composition. Malthael goes down. Caffeine's the focus fire. Ancestral does land here, but and with already 2 members dead and Fan being the next to go down, Team Freedom blatantly wins this fight.
They are debilitating Gale Force Esports' ability to get another Punisher that Freedom now will be able to claim. 13-12. Nasmus has a self-destruct all but ready. Now it is ready for a possible defense versus this Punisher. This Gale Force, they've already got Murd, and it looks like they're going to give up the fort and they'll defend at the core.
It's going to be on the shoulders of Rhaegar to save this game for Gale Force Esports if the team fights keep going as well coordinated as the last one. Granted, the last one, Dansky got a 4-man leyline seal. That time sensitive between first leyline and second leyline was almost 0, which means that the APOC hit frame perfect nearly on every single target. It was about as bad as it could possibly get, but Akaface is the kill target. So it's on to K1 Pro on that pseudo support to be able to get the cleanse, stay far enough back, get an Ancestral, and keep him alive, because he's the only one who's going to have any chance of trying to separate away from her and not dying.
I said the core, but I meant the keep, which is what Gale Force are hoping that they can keep from dying, but it won't be done. And with the portal, all of Team Freedom so far has been able to escape. D.Va gets the Stormbolt, boosts out another portal. Medivh allows Team Freedom to completely escape after getting a keep against Gale Force.
Gale Force has to find a way to flank or collapse. I don't know. Medivh in his portal uptime, post 13, sitting at 1 second, and with that amount of range, nobody has the mobility to be able to keep with that. Gale Force has to force a fight that Freedom is comfortable taking, but not win it so dominantly early on that Freedom is, you know, running away immediately.
Dread, the synergy between Medivh and D.Va, I've been watching her charge bar, and I'm pretty sure that even when she gets a Force of Will, it's still charging up. So even though the damage is negated because she's protected, it's still charging up self-destruct. Which is what it did anyway. Like, if you use Defense Matrix, even though it reduces damage, it still gives you the full charge bar, but I never thought about that synergy of Force of Will.
I thought about the synergy of it, but I just didn't actually think that was how it functioned.
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
Originally with Medivh and other auto-attack damage sources, or not auto-attack damage, but damage taken mixed with the Force of Will. I originally tested an iteration, but I don't remember what it was, and it didn't work, so I auto-assumed that with D.Va, but you know, now that you bring it up, I wouldn't be surprised if that is, in fact, the way that these two interact with one another, and part of the reason we see that synergy here. Yeah. I still, even with the synergy, even with the Shrine control, still question whether or not it filled all the roles necessary as well. But Freedom's making it look good here with that 2-level lead, getting that pressure up onto the keep wall.
Nasmus is once again charging up another D.Va bomb. Take out the front wall, they can rotate back out, try to take out the final fort for Gale Force Esports, and with that 16, there's just not too much that Gale Force Esports can do about it. Shrine activated in 23 seconds. Gale Force will not be on the same talent tier as Team Freedom for the beginning of the Shrine phase.
Normally what you'd see a team do here in this situation is Gale Force would 5-man commit and hang out on the top half, and then wait until the Shrine is going to be started, and then commit to the front wall, commit to the fort, and try and make something happen here. You just need to see the members of Freedom respond to a certain section. Gale Force is willing to dance around this. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea why, but they're displaying a level of confidence that I would not if I was down to 16 talents here into Team Freedom, but they're going to move up. They're going to get a detainment strike onto 2 portals used. Freedom moves out. Freedom's going to come back. What does Gale Force know that I don't?
Maybe they feel like they're out of options. They're staying safe. They're keeping up. Self-destruct used. That zone's away. Lots of skeletal defenders spiked for Team Freedom, 26-17.
They go in. Mike Udall is going to be the first to start. Leyline seals use, only lands on 1. APOC pins against to the Ariel. He keeps himself alive. Twilight Dream drops. Collusion uses the ice block. He has kept himself alive. Gale Force has a chance.
They do. This is sort of disaster mode for Team Freedom, as it's not going to plan at all.
33.
All 5 extremely low,
35.
but they still have 36. They're hoping to get this Punisher, but they'll lose their Diablo. Self-destruct will get it. They get it even before the self-destruct.
And he's going to be able to go back into his mecha suit. There you see Nasmus, Kaplan with that Stormbolt. We have Dansky flying up above. See if he drops down. He will. He's got a portal. K1 Pro is going to say what's up. Master's Touch getting a couple of stacks there. Good detainment strike. No Stormbolt. Go back through the portal here. No! Freedom just doesn't know when to stop.
Diablo's on his way back in, and Team Freedom have kept Gale Force Esports off of just defending this Punisher, even without their Diablo from that. All from the aggression of Nasmus.
Punch coming out from the Punisher there. 15 more seconds before he's going to be looking to leap back in. What can we see Freedom pick up? Mid-keep is the only one to stand after this bottom one goes down. They go through the portal. Detainment strike again from Akaface. Mecha explosion. Punisher gets the leap. And we are just going to see one keep down. Wow, Cure went in on to Mike Udall, but Mike Udall kept himself alive. They might be able to reinitiate.
He has so many Reaper's marks on a lot of the members of Team Freedom. This portal is still up. Cure falling low with Michael Udall's damage to him, and Fan ensures that Greymane goes down.
He ensures it, and that Stormbolt may ensure that Diablo is going to be falling. The core is trickling away. 30, 20, 25, and that Punisher pulling away is going to be it. Team Freedom is going to take this game, and they're going to take the series 3-1 over Gale Force Esports. Turns out when you ignore a top keep for 5 minutes, the Catapults, they don't care about what you like to do. They don't care about where your power spikes are. They care about what is the closest thing in front of me, and is it dead? Because if not, we're launching the old rock.
What an anticlimactic ending to an awesome series. I'm angry.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It died to a Punisher just punching it and putting lasers on it.
But you got to give credit to Freedom for understanding. Okay, first of all, why?
I do.
Because, like, you are right. I feel the same way, right? Like, I feel like everybody's like, oh, the Punisher, the Catapults, is like, is that really how you want to see that end? But then if you take a minute and just rewind 45 seconds, okay? Let me just paint a picture for you. I understand your frustration, but there was a moment where the members of Team Freedom were down a Diablo who is dead, spawning back 15 seconds. They secure a Punisher after losing a fight terribly into a Gale Force who was willing to take a fight. A Talontier down, got all the check marks they need to not lose the fight immediately and almost hold their own. And somehow out of all that, when the Diablo spawns, two members, a D.Va and a Dansky on the Medivh, zone all of Gale Force off, a Punisher enough to let it go to that keep full HP.
All of this is cool. I'm on board. All of this is awesome. It's just that the final core died to a Punisher and some laser beams.
I mean, how is that any different than a wolf that can throw out ancestral healing, and what else do we have?
You know, you get some dancing, some happy dancing. I mean,
right.
there's probably happy dancing once we get our winner's interview with Zugrug. I'm going to make him give us a happy dance.
Okay.
Somehow
I don't see him doing that.
We've got Zugrug here now. Zugrug, we didn't get to see any characters dance at the core because if it's a Punisher, the Punisher wouldn't. Would you give us a little happy dance?
Happy dance?
Yeah.
We're #1.
Woo! Okay, thank you. Congratulations on your victory over Gale Force. Were you guys expecting a 3-1 here? What was going through your minds on that Cursed Hollow game when you came back? I just want to know how the mindset for the team has been throughout the series.
Going into the series, we were like pretty confident we were going to win, but all of the games ended up being like pretty close, it felt like.
Yeah.
So a 3-1 was nice.
It was a great series. What about that Cursed Hollow game? The defense at the core, what were the comms like?
Everyone was just yelling who they're killing, like, kill this guy, then next guy, like, who we're killing in the order we're going to kill them, so we'd all be on the same target.
That calm under pressure is why you guys held that. Absolutely. It was incredible that you guys had that save. Dread?
I don't really have much to say other than a huge congratulations. We're going to go ahead, set the scope up towards next week. How are you feeling about Even in Death, your next opponent?
I mean, they look pretty good with their role swap, but I'm pretty confident we'll win that series.
You know, after today's performance, I'm pretty confident you'll win it too. Congratulations once again.
Zugrug, where do you feel like you guys' goal now is? Since you've been able to defeat Gale Force, what is the goal for you guys by the end of Part 2? Is it to just make sure you're in 3rd place for playoffs? Do you want one of the top 2 spots? Where are you setting your goal at?
We want one of the top 2 spots so we don't have to play in the playoffs.
Okay. All right, well, good luck to you for that. Good luck next week with your 2 series, and the floor is yours for shout-outs.
All right, thanks. Shout out to our sponsor, Team Freedom, our coach Aether, my teammates for playing amazing today, and just all of our fans.
Awesome. Thank you. Shout-outs to you,
guys.
Zugrug. Thank you. Well, it may have been anticlimactic to me, but the fighting was pretty impeccable, pretty stellar for both of these teams in that final game. It was a great series.
It was a great series. I'm just laughing at how much you sound like me right now. You know, the constant dissatisfaction with everything that existing before you were given the series of a lifetime, some of the best teams in the world, some of the best of North America, and you walk away with the series just going, you know, could have left something a little bit. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's kind of a little funny. Just like this much.
Maybe
okay,
you're
maybe
rubbing
this
off
much.
of me a little bit. I don't know. But it was an amazing series. I guess I just realized how important a victory dance is to me at the end of the day. But Zugreg helped me out now, so I'm all good. Yeah, we're number one.
You know, somehow this isn't maybe like this or a little bit of this going. I like that one.
All right.
I'm going with that one.
Thank you for the victory dance, too. That is our first series of the day, but we've got another that you'll be dancing about because it's Tempo Storm versus Superstars. We're heading to a commercial break, and we'll have that awesome series for you when we return.
Up to find that me and my friends are lost. Again! No one said it was your fault, Olaf. But if there's one thing we're good at, it's... getting lost? No, Balog, we're good at... Now what? Listen, I'm trying to say that if we stick together, there's no obstacle. Oh no! Back up! Oh no! Like I was saying, if we work as a team, the three of us, we can accomplish anything. Don't mess with the Vikings. That's right.
Oh, Eric, I gotta go, Ramona. Please.
Now? Couldn't you have gone before we left?
Oh.
One of the amazing things about all Blizzard games is the credits always start with game designed by Blizzard Entertainment.
It takes a Blizzard to make a Blizzard game. And I think that's true on, any individual game. It's true on World of Warcraft, it's true on Overwatch, it's true on Heroes, and it's certainly true on Kel'Thuzad.
Hundreds of people have worked on some form of Kel'Thuzad over the 20 years this character's been in existence.
The hero that since joining the team I've wanted to do the most, so I'm super excited to finally be bringing Kel'Thuzad to the game.
The players have been asking for this hero forever.
We knew ahead of time this was a hugely requested character by the fans.
Where's KT? Where's Kel'Thuzad? Give me KT.
This is a moment where we can do something really cool.
The last time we had a chance to work on him was in Warcraft 3, and everybody's very, very excited to bring him back in a big way and into the Nexus.
I can't wait to see what the Heroes team reimagines Kel'Thuzad as for Heroes of the Storm.
Feels good. This feels really good. Yep.
Archlich of Naxxramas.
Esteemed Lich Lord of the Plague Lands.
Commander of the Dread Necropolis.
Master and founder of the Cult of the Damned.
Formerly of the Council of Six. Creator of the Abomination.
Summoner of Archimonde the Defiler.
Betrayer of humanity.
Hearthstone enthusiast.
Major Domo to the Lich King.
Kel'Thuzad is an iconic Warcraft villain, and it's incredibly important that we do justice to that character, and we can't screw this up.
I'll have to trust you on that one.
Introducing HGC Cheer, To bring more hype to HGC this year, you can cheer with bits to show support for your favorite teams while unlocking in-game loot and exclusive Twitch emotes. Cheering is a way to show support for streamers, celebrate the amazing, and amplify your voice in chat. Bits are a virtual good you can buy on Twitch to cheer. When you cheer for your favorite teams during HGC, a share of the revenue from the bits cheered goes to the team. As you cheer, items like loot chests, mounts, and exclusive emotes will unlock when cheering goals are reached. Check the HGC Cheer event page to track progress and see the loot you can unlock. The leaderboards will show who's the biggest fan of your favorite team. To get started, buy some bits by clicking on the Nexus icon at the bottom of chat and select Get Bits. Then, when a team impresses you with skills like these, click on the Nexus icon in chat, select the team logo, add the number of bits you want to use, and a message to cheer them on. You'll summon a team-themed animated cheer mode to celebrate the moment and amplify your voice in chat. The more bits you use, the cooler and more animated the cheer mode. Be sure to link your Blizzard and Twitch accounts to claim your loot when it becomes available. We'll see you in the Nexus.